Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 44 years. I'm going through the text again this year, reading it 2 or 3 paragraphs at a time, asking Jesus to clarify for me. And then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So we're looking at chapter 14, and we're in section 6, and we're reading the last 2 paragraphs today. Six and, or last 3 paragraphs, sorry, 6, 7, and 8. So paragraph 6 says, "You who speak in dark and devious symbols do not understand the language you've made. It has no meaning, for its purpose is not communication, but rather the disruption of communication. If the purpose of language is communication, how can this tongue mean anything? Yet even this strange and twisted effort to communicate through not communicating holds enough of love to make it meaningful if its interpreter is not its maker. You who made it are but expressing conflict from which the Holy Spirit would release you. Leave what you would communicate to Him. He will interpret it to you with perfect clarity, for He knows with whom you are in perfect communication." Paragraph 7. "You know not what you say, and so you know not what is said to you. Yet your interpreter perceives a meaning in your alien language. He will not attempt to communicate the meaningless, but he will separate out all that has meaning, dropping off the rest and offering your true communication to those who would communicate as truly with you. You speak 2 languages at once, and this must lead to unintelligibility. Yet, if one means nothing and the other everything, only that one is possible for purposes of communication. The other but interferes with it." In paragraph 8, "The Holy Spirit's function is entirely communication. He therefore must remove whatever interferes with communication in order to restore it. Therefore, keep no source of interference from his sight, for he will not attack your sentinels. But bring them to him, and let his gentleness teach you that in the light they are not fearful, and cannot serve to guard the dark doors behind which nothing at all is carefully concealed. We must open all doors and let the light come streaming through. There are no hidden chambers in God's temple. Its gates are wide open to greet his Son. No one can fail to come where God has called him, if he close not the door in himself upon his Father's welcome." Well, these 3 paragraphs explain something important and help us see how to apply it in our daily lives. We have a communication problem. We confuse communication by asking for opposing things. I talked about this in today's lesson commentary. Lesson 45, "God is a mind in which I think," asks us to go within to the inner altar and find the thoughts we think with God. I felt like I had not done a very good job with that, but here's what I eventually realized. This morning at the altar, I was speaking 2 languages. One part of me wanted only God, and another part wanted proof, success, and relief from uncertainty. No wonder the mind felt noisy. Yet I did not leave the practice. I brought the confusion with me. If the Holy Spirit's function is communication, then he receives my tangled offering, keeps the love within it, and lets the rest fall away. Maybe the miracle is not that I reach God perfectly, but that I'm finally willing to stop hiding anything from him. This is what today's paragraphs are telling us. Our goals are confused, and so our communication is confused. Here's another example. When I was married, I told my husband many times that I loved him. But in my mind, I was also saying, "Please approve of me, agree with me, make me safe," and many other things. Even in that confusion, love was still trying to get through. I can see this now in retrospect because at the time, my mind was not ready to look at it. Later, after we were divorced and I truly wanted healing, I was able to let the Holy Spirit untangle my thoughts and so communicate honestly. To do that, I had to bring my garbled message to him and trust that he would sort it out. I didn't try to make sense of it first and then bring it to him. I brought him the mess. When he translates it, what comes from fear falls away and only love remains. I did not even realize this had happened until I heard myself apologize to my ex-husband for my part in our marriage. It melted what was left of his resentment, and we became friends. We still are. What I have learned and what I'm learning still is that I must hide nothing from the Holy Spirit. I'm not going to clean it up or make it look better. I'm giving him the whole thing and trusting him to restore communication for me. That is trust, and I am more and more willing to live that way. Thank you so much for joining me here. I appreciate it very much. I hope that you found what I said helpful in some way. And if you did, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And I would also suggest that maybe you look at lesson 45 and see how I worked with that and see how perfectly these two things that I'm reading and studying here come together to make the lesson even clearer. And if you have anything that you'd like to share, please do so. I love reading the comments. Okay, well, I will see you soon.